Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emily Hales.
And I'm Kara Brown. Thank you for joining us today. Halloween is coming, and there are a lot of businesses that are putting on events to help the community get into the holiday spirit.
Hey, do you like hayrides? Well, what if it was a haunted hayride?
The hayride starts in front of the building, and it's actually a half mile. We've actually measured the whole trail. We actually added about 200 feet to the trail this year. And it's a full half mile from start to finish. Hayride starts in front of the building, out by the sign, and it's going to go from the sign all the way up through the woods behind our building. During the event, we offer a few games, food, and basically just enough while you're waiting in line to keep you occupied. I think we did a sheet last year, or a movie screen projection, and last year it was a few different horror movies while they were out there, but it's just a movie basically to wait with, to make the line not go so long. My favorite part is just to see everybody having a good time as the hayride progressed. Since I started 7 years ago with them, we've done some form of haunted trail, haunted hallway, or haunted part of the building. And the progression from where we started at the service hallway or physical therapy, it's much, much broader. We cover so much, and it's hard to get volunteers and get everybody to get out there to help start scaring. So the progression of what we have going on has just been amazing, and I love that, seeing it progress into something that's started off small, and now we're just almost too big to take care of, but we've got a real good team that works together on it. More thankful for having a good facility at the health center, allowing us to do this kind of stuff, and there's not many places in town who would let their employees run a haunted house out of the back of their woods.
The Health Center of Pensacola puts on a yearly haunted hayride to get the community into the spirit of Halloween. I'm Emily Hales reporting for Argo News. Halloween is always a fun time of year. Reporter Patrick Glazer definitely agrees.
It's that time of season. What are you doing this Halloween?
Fair City Nights is the premier haunted house of Pensacola, going on since 2009. I got involved in high school, I think, when I was in the drama program. We worked at Lulu's. They had a haunted house every year. We raised money for all the art programs around Escambia County. We've been working for 3 weeks, and it takes long because we're putting up walls or setting up traps, bringing all the decorations, animatronics, and everything. And you can't rush perfection. Lots of surprises, scares, and lots of fun. Gore. What else can you expect from a haunted house? It's hard to pick a favorite. Between the living room and the cemetery. Because of the drama that's going to be going on in there. The darkness, the surprise. Between here and Seville, the year before last, we have different actors, different rooms, different props. We open on the 19th of October. We go to November 2nd. And you can find out more information at www.fiercecitynights.com.
Again, for more information, you can visit www.fiercecitynights.com. I'm Patrick Glazer, reporting for Argo News.
Graduate schools are on their way to UWF to answer any questions students may have about their future goals.
If you're looking into getting your graduate degree, UWF is holding the Professional and Graduate School Expo this week.
This could really change their path career-wise, opportunity-wise. So it's important to take advantage of this being offered with all these schools all in one location rather than have to travel. So all of them individually, which is something they would want to consider doing later if they're really interested in a program or a school. But it's very convenient for them to get all this information in one place. Well, it's important to be prepared, to set a good impression for the graduate school, professional school admissions representative there, as well as to get all the answers to things that you might be concerned about. By writing them down and being prepared when you go, you'll get everything answered, and you won't have one of those moments where you wish you had asked something later on, but didn't take the opportunity to do so. They could ask what the culture is of the program, what the job obtainment percentage is after graduate school. They might want to ask what that school could offer them in terms of availability of grad assistantships, scholarships, grants. They definitely want to see if the program's accredited. Accreditation makes a big difference in terms of certifications and licensures later down on the road. There's a lot to consider when choosing a graduate program or professional program, so this gives them the opportunity to find something that's a better fit for them.
These expos are held annually and are before application deadlines. I'm Elizabeth Bortone, reporting for Argo News.
Next, we will take a look at a faculty member from a sometimes neglected area on campus.
With events always going on, being the art gallery director on campus are big shoes to fill.
My name is Nick Krogan. I'm the gallery director for the art gallery in the Department of Fine Arts. A normal week for me is 30 hours of balancing contracts, installation, construction, painting pedestals, teaching museum studies and museum practicum, and planning for 2014-15 as well as next spring. I've been in this position for a little over a year. I started last August. Before that, I was a graduate student at Colorado State University. For about the last 10 to 15 years, I've been in the art field, whether it's as a practicing studio artist or working for various galleries and museums across the country. I teach two classes in relation to the gallery practice. One is museum studies, and that deals primarily with the theory and practice running a museum, whether it's a fine art museum, a history museum, a natural science museum. The second class is gallery practicum, and that's kind of more the hands-on side of things. So the students learn how to actually hang an exhibition, you know, use the power tools, any tools that we use in the field. Those are the classes I teach in relation to museum studies, but like I said, I'm also a practicing studio artist, so every once in a while I'm fortunate enough to be able to teach a drawing class.
It seems like being the art gallery director is quite the challenging but exciting job. I'm Anna Playback reporting for Argo News.
It's time to show off your best dance moves while you tear up the dance floor. Princeton Drake has more on this calorie-burning story.
If you love to dance but find that most dance and hip-hop workouts are too complicated to work out, I have found your solution.
Hip Hop Hustle, let me tell you, it was a blast. Last semester, actually, there was a group fitness instructor who taught turbo kick, and she'd make announcements saying, oh, if you want to be a group fitness instructor, there's certifications, you can get involved. And I thought, well, hey, I love Hip Hop Hustle, so why not get certified? I got certified last semester, and this is actually my first semester teaching it. It's great. I love hip hop. I love everything about it, and that's how I got involved, so now I teach it. Hip Hop Hustle is a group fitness class taught at the gym. Basically, it's not meant for just intense hip hop workout. It's just pretty much to get your cardio rate up, have fun. It's 4:30 to 5:20 every Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's a blast. People have fun, enjoy, and there's no dance experience required. It's just having fun. I would definitely encourage others to come. Some people come to the gym and they're not sure what to do. They're kind of thinking, should I go on the elliptical or should I go run on the treadmill? You don't have to plan anything. You just come out, you enjoy the time. The group fitness instructors are very motivating, and you see all the other people working around you and you think, man, I need to be like them. I need to keep on going. It's an hour. You can go to as many group fitness classes as you want in a day. It's great, it's fun, and it's motivating.
With no dance experience required, Hip Hop Hustle takes the fun factor up a notch with hip hop moves that'll have you and everyone else wanting more. I'm Princeton Drake reporting for Argo News.
UWF has a new tennis champion. Argo News reporter Jamie Kennedy has the backspin on this story.
How much would you sacrifice for a sport?
First, I won the regionals that we played here in Pensacola. And last week I won the national championship that we play in Fort Myers, Florida. It was great because it's my last year here in UWF as a player, and felt great to win the regionals at home, and was even better to go to nationals. It's a big tournament, and winning the tournament and being #1 in the nation, it's a big thing for us. Actually, I was pretty nervous in the beginning, but I could hold the pressure pretty well. And I could control the match after the first set because I won the first set and I kind of put pressure on my opponent. And actually before the match point, a lot of things came into my mind, especially the hard work that I'm doing since I got here in Pensacola to play for UWF. And after winning the match, I just wanted to hug my coach because he's pretty important for our team. He's such a nice guy. He always help us with everything that we need. My biggest plan is to win nationals as a team. And I sacrifice like being away from my country and away from my family and friends, but it's paid off because you know a lot, you met a lot of nice people, and I mean it's a great sport, and I don't regret.
Sometimes sacrificing everything you know to be a champion can pay off. I'm Jamie Kennedy reporting for Argo News.
There are thousands of museums out there, but does your school have its own?
There are several museums out there. Does your school has its own?
Well, we're very fortunate here at the Archaeology Institute. We are, of course, part of the Division of Anthropology and Archaeology, and we had one of our volunteers a number of years back to remember us in her giving after her death, and so we used the money that she left for us to match that with state monies to be able to build this facility. And the Archaeology Institute itself is just one of the facilities on campus that where you will find archaeology at work. We have our academic wing over in Building 13, where we have our terrestrial and underwater labs and classrooms. And then we also have our curation facility down in Building 49. And then we have an off-campus facility that we use for our marine services. So we're I would like to say one stop serves all, but we're a multi-disciplined group that work in archaeology here today. But archaeology, actually being in the field and finding that artifact, is one of the very smallest actions that we take. Our projects are very well planned out. We have a research design, so we don't just go forth and dig. And our students are trained. They're trained in many ways, both in the lab and in the field. So they also are not allowed just to go out and dig. So if you were to be an undergraduate student in field school, you would have graduate students that are ahead helping to supervise you. And everything that we do is documented, probably to make people just throw their hands up in their air with paper, but we document everything because you want to be able to go back and know exactly where it came from in time and space.
It may be history, but it's just as relevant as today. I'm Bruce Joseph, reporting for Argo News.
Are you thinking of updating your wardrobe? It can never be too soon.
Thinking about upgrading your wardrobe? It's never too soon. Well, I think it's a process of, becoming professional. And I think that, first impressions are what, drive, other people to think highly of you. We form our first impressions within the first 3 seconds of meeting a person, and then we take the next 90 seconds trying to confirm our initial impression. So, it's a process of, trying to make the most of your opportunities, and especially you don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know who you're going to meet in everyday life. You could be meeting your potential you could be meeting potential coworkers, you could be meeting potential employees, you could be meeting your potential spouse. So you don't really know who you're going to be meeting when you go out in the real world. When you go out into the real world, people will judge you, not necessarily by what you say, but what you do. So as far as dressing in a professional way, you are first giving the initial impression that you value other people, that you value yourself, and that you value other people's time. By dressing professionally, you're not only showing other people that you care about yourself and that you care about other people, but that you are a viable person in the job market.
By getting accustomed to dressing professionally at such an early age, Kevin is both able to prepare for future jobs and networks that may land him a great career in the future. I'm Rafael Reyes, reporting for Argo News.
It's that time of year. Many organizations are having fundraisers and in very creative ways.
I hope you're ready to get your run on for Pathways for a Change.
How I got into Pathways for Change, I was actually the director of the Christian Counseling Center, and we started teaching classes in the jail, and we realized the depth of the issues of the women that we were serving, and a few classes in counseling wasn't going to even touch the problem. So a few of us went and became an inmate at a maximum security prison in Ohio in 2004 and learned about a therapeutic community. Came back and started it right after Ivan. Neil Nash is, we call the Godfather. He's been on the board of directors for Pathways for Change since the beginning. And I went to him and said, we're thinking about a mud run. And I know you got 117 acres out there. And he's like, what's a mud run? And I explained it. He's like, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. So we went to see the mud run in Niceville. And he's walking around going, well, I'll be darned. I could never imagine, let's do it. All of this was woods. So what you're looking at, this open, beautiful field, has been manicured over and over for 4 months. The guy, Josh, who created the 5K course, moved here from Wisconsin without a job, and we said, we got something for you. He has created this course, which is really, I hear, pretty hard. We've gotten about $20,000 in sponsorships, and we have 1,500 runners. I imagine we will probably make a profit of about $50,000 our first year, which is amazing. The favorite thing about Pathways for Change is watching a human being transform. So it's the challenge, it's the race, it's running and finishing and not giving up, and that's what this is.
A special thanks to everyone who came out and supported Pathways for a Change at this weekend's Pensacola Mud Run. I'm Kara Brown, reporting for Argo News. Let's now follow Nicholas Gray inside the music department to see and listen to the many talented UWF students.
The UWF Music Department, under the direction of Dr. Sheila Dunn, is a place of growth, learning, and, well, music.
The sounds of ensembles, lessons, and practice sessions fill the halls of Building 82 each day. Dr. Dunn believes she hears the sound of joy.
The students are having a blast. Everybody in this department is really passionate about what they do.
The number of students in the department is at an all-time high, attributed to an even greater growth in musicianship.
The quality of the students has grown. We have grown in numbers, but more than anything, really the quality of our student performances has changed.
Dr. Dunn accredits the level of quality to being able to offer a more direct approach to teaching student musicians within the department, something that is uncommon at larger schools of music.
When students are accepted and they're studying here, they're not working with a graduate assistant. They're working with full professors and folks that have doctorates, and we've been there. We know exactly what they're going through.
To help raise awareness of the department and its performances, a quarterly newsletter is currently being developed by Dr. Dunn and the Department of Music in correlation with the Center for Fine and Performing Arts.
We have so many performances every semester, and a lot of them are downtown in our historic buildings at Old Christ Church, the Little Theater, T.T. Wentworth Museum. I think the newsletter is going to highlight what's unique about them and who's performing them and why that's exciting. Just like any department, we're just working towards student success and making sure that everyone is learning as much as they can and making great music and graduating.
For those interested in joining the music department, the next audition date is Saturday, November 23rd. For more details, you can go to uwf.edu/music. I'm Nick Gray, reporting for Argo News.
Just around the corner from the music department is the UWF Faculty Art Show. It happens every other year, so you don't want to miss it.
Do you ever wonder what the art department faculty is working on?
The title for this year's faculty exhibition is Guiding Principles. As a noun, principal means someone who plays an important role. And I think in the studio, the workshop, or the classroom, that is what we're tasked to do, is help guide students in creative pursuits. We roughly have 10 faculty members participating in this year's exhibition, and the medium runs for anywhere from traditional painting, drawing, ceramics, to multimedia, video installations, sound installations. It's an exciting show that has both traditional and kind of cutting-edge contemporary medium and work.
Every year the faculty gets a faculty show, and this time around we, I think, decided as a collective not to fill in the space with too many pieces, but really put in strong work, and I think this is probably one of the strongest shows we had. It's a great experience for the professors to come together as artists and to be able to show our work, because we're supposed to show a lot on our own, and so to have the opportunity to actually have a space in the university where we can show off our work, it's quite lovely.
The purpose for having a faculty art exhibition is to allow students, the community, and other faculty members to see what we do outside of the classroom. This is, really our research. This is what we do in our lab, if you want to refer to it as that. And it gives everyone a chance to get to know us a little bit better. We in the visual arts communicate visually, so this is how we express ourselves.
Come out to the Performing Arts Building and see what your faculty has been up to. I'm Kathleen Hicks, reporting for Argo News.
2 weeks ago, UWF's rugby team played at a tournament and was second to Auburn. Krista Orzo has more on this story.
Rugby is a rough sport, played with just the players and a ball.
Rugby is basically a cross between football, soccer, maybe even a few other sports. You can basically be a quarterback, linebacker, defensive tackle, you got to tackle, you got to pass, kick sometimes for a few people. You can only pass the ball backwards as opposed to forwards like in football.
It usually lasts all year, pretty much. We start in the fall. Our practices, our whole preseason is during the fall. We'll play teams like FSU, LSU, we'll play in sevens tournaments. And then in the spring, our real season starts off, and we start playing teams in our division, such as UNF,
Loyola in New Orleans. You just have to be a student at the university to be able to play.
We have mandatory Monday runs, which everyone has to go to. Then we have Tuesday, Thursday practices, only 2 hours.
It is dangerous, but I mean, we're two of the smallest guys on our team, and we haven't had a serious injury yet. I've got a slight problem with my ankle right now, but that's one of my
There's actually a lot of statistics saying that, like, how rugby is way less dangerous than football just because of the way you tackle.
The rugby team's next home game is November 23rd. Come out and support the team. I'm Krista Orzo, reporting for Argo News.
Thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. I'm Emily Hales.
And I'm Kara Brown, reporting for Argo News.